So, good afternoon, everyone. I hope I'm audible and visible. I hope the weather is fine at your end too, as it is at my end. So, we'll begin. Let me know who all are there. I could see Akash and Neelam. So, please let me know who all other people are there. With that, without much delay, let's start. All right. So, there we go. Okay, so briefly about me, I'm Siddhi Bangard. I graduated from BIT Mesra Rachi. I have 3 years plus teaching experience and appeared for 4 mains in an interview. Did my post graduation from XLRI Jamshedpur. You can use my code SBUS or SP Siddhi to get instant 10% off on any of the UPSC subscriptions. This is my Unacademy ID. You can follow me here. And if you have any queries, message me on the Unacademy app. I will revert. With that, on the Plus courses or on the Plus platform of Unacademy, you get daily live classes where you can chat with your educator, engage in discussions, ask doubts, and answer polls so that you can see leaderboard or you can see what is your position in the class when we do questions and answers. So, good afternoon, Satyanarayan. Good afternoon. Additionally, what I want to tell you is that if you actually want to experience this platform before buying into it, you're most welcome to attend my special class tonight at 9:30 p.m. So, in which we'll be doing another 10-15 questions for the UPSC Prelim 2020. It's a 1 hour class to give you a taste of the platform before you actually buy into it. With that, we also have live test and quizzes on the Unacademy platform. Courses are aligned to the UPSC syllabus. And one subscription gives you access to not just the courses that are running live right now on the platform, but also if any class which is recorded, which has been done previously, everything will be accessible to you with that one subscription. Additionally, the Unacademy Iconic program is for those aspirants who are giving the exam for the first time or will are giving the exam for the last time, especially for the last time or the first time, because first time is the charm and the last time is all you've got. So you wouldn't want to mess up with that. With that, under the Iconic, apart from the benefits of Plus, as you can see, live classes, test CDs, unlimited practice, and a structured schedule. In addition, you get a personal coach. That's the highlight of the program, a very unique initiative by the Unacademy. Secondly, you get daily mains Q&A practice. Now your mains make up the big part of your selection to civils. A study planner, a lot of people have problem difficulty scheduling out how do they how or what is the optimum way to study. And most importantly, a personalized feedback by your personal mentor and coach who will know you inside out and can navigate you safely to the UPSC bandwagon. It's like if you're going for river rafting, you need to have somebody in charge so that you don't fall off the boat. This person is going to be that person. With that, 1 year Iconic is 64,000, 2 year Iconic is 99,000, and you can use my code SBUS to get 10% off. And 1 year plus is 44,000, 2 year plus is 64,000, and you can use my code SBUS. I believe this is the right time to get either the Plus or the Iconic subscriptions because the prices are going to rise as the mains will approach. So save your money and save your time. Be on the Iconic and Plus. This is the right time to be. Choose wisely, choose Unacademy and choose Iconic. Please use my code SBUS for an instant 10% off on any of the subscriptions, either Plus or Iconic. Good afternoon, Ashutosh. This is my special live class which happened on at 9 p.m. on September 16. We had a class yesterday also that happened at 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. I'm having a class today also, I presume at 9 p.m. or 9:30, somewhere between 9:30 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. a 1 hour special class. You're most welcome to come. With that, let's begin. Rules of the game, very simple. 20 to 25 seconds to read, 30 seconds to answer. Most importantly, prelims are approaching, so we'll do it with a focus on prelims. We'll try to do the questions as quickly as we can so that we can do more and more questions. With that, let's start. Question number 1 on your screens. I give you 15 to 20 seconds to read, actually, not 15, but 20 seconds to read and 30 seconds to answer. Please let me know who all are there in the class. And I hope I'm completely audible. Yeah, I guess so. The time starts now. 3 people have already answered. I'm waiting for the other 3 to answer. So let me know. Good noon, Shantini. Happy to see you here. Let me know your doubts after the class, Shantini. I was occupied then. All right. So the answers that I have, and those who have answered correctly, it's Ashutosh, Neelam, Satyanarayan, and Akash. They have all answered correctly. Shantini, I haven't got your reply, but it's option number B. It's not the UGC, which is the implementing agency. It is actually the All India Council for Technical Education, AICTE, which is the implementing agency for the NEET program. The NEET program is specifically known for utilizing artificial intelligence in the education domain to make education more personalized and customized as per the requirements of the student. And yes, it has been launched by the Ministry of MHRD in November 19. All right. Aditya, you're also correct. Okay. So let's actually, the MHRD will be the nodal ministry. However, the implementing agency will be the SAICTE. Now, let's actually look at some of the pointers which is related to it. So, they are proposing to create a national alliance with such technology developing edtech companies. So, Unacademy is one of the edtech companies, or Byju's is an edtech company. So, they are trying to get into a public-private partnership model with the edtech companies. Second is MHRD will be the facilitator, so that we already know. And another scheme, the National NEET platform will create one-stop access to adaptive learning solutions. They are actually going on the lines of massive open online courses, but just making them more adaptable to the learner's learning pace. And the solutions will be provided by the EdTech companies. And all right, all the registrations, etc., they have to be done with the MHRD or with the AICTE. Let's move on to question number 2. This should be fairly easy. So I'll give you 15 seconds to read, 15 to 20 seconds to read, and 30 seconds to answer. Another 5-7 seconds to go, and then 30 seconds to answer. Ashutosh, good afternoon, Bawa. All right. Unfortunately, only one person tried to answer it differently. That's Akash. He has given option number B. Interestingly, none of you are correct. It's neither one nor two. It has not been given by Amnesty International but Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. All right. First point. Second point is correct. Yes, the award for the year 2019 was received by the Indian Prime Minister, but not for Beti Bachao Beti Padhao, but Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So that's why neither one nor two is correct. Is that okay? So except for Aditya, nobody has answered this correctly. Everybody got it wrong except for Aditya Singh. All right. Let's come to question number 3. The Senior Citizen Savings Scheme. So I give you 20 seconds to read, and then 30 seconds to answer, because this one will take time to read. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Bawa. Another 5 seconds and then we'll start. आज के क्वेश्चंस अच्छे हैं, मजा आएगा. All right, I'll start the timer. Well, interestingly, all the three options are correct. 1, 2 and 3. All of them are correct. In fact, recently, the State Bank of India advised the government that this shouldn't be fully taxable because it's for the senior citizens. So, I guess who has given me the correct answer? Let me see. Oh, that's not a big deal, Bawa. I know my students. All right. So, none of you have answered it correctly. It's option number D. ठीक है, तभी मैंने कहा आज क्वेश्चंस करने में बहुत मजा आएगा. So, nobody, absolutely nobody got it correct this time. All the 3 pointers here are correct. And in fact, the senior citizens in the senior citizen savings scheme, they can get an interest rate up to 8.6%. So that's quite a good thing. And the scheme is usually for 5 years with the option to extend it for 3 more years. However, since it's taxable, that's a major drawback. Yeah, nobody, absolutely nobody. Okay, let's come to question number 4, the Akaba process. So I give you 15 seconds to think about it and then 30 seconds to answer. All right? Your time starts now. All right. So, yes, Bawa, you're not with the name of Bawa in spite of that, because you had dedicated a hat to me. So there you had your original name. So when you change your name, the name in the hat also changes. That's why when you kept the name Didi Basu, I could recognize that. Is that okay? All right. Your teacher is intelligent, isn't she? Okay. Great Shantini, if it has decreased this year, that's actually not of concern to us. The concern was we should know about this scheme, all right? Because the interest rates keep on decreasing and increasing, so we really can't control that. All right. Yes, all of you are right. It's option number A. So I need not explain this, that this process was actually set up in 2015. And recently, I guess in September only, they had their next round of meetings. So this was started by King Abdullah II in 2015 to fight against extremism. It's a regional council where all the Middle Eastern countries will come together. Recently, the Philippines president also participated in this, and that's why this entire thing was in news. Right? All right. Let's move on to question number 5. This is a pretty easy one. So a lot of you should be able to get this correct. All right, 15 seconds to read and then 30 seconds to answer. And there it starts. Namaste, Abhishek. All right, so where are we starting from? Ashutosh, is that, have you answered D? Are we starting from Ashutosh? Or Akash, you've also answered. I guess we're starting from Ashutosh. Which of the following are incorrect? Okay, so Ashutosh, Akash, Aditya, Neelam, you are correct. Satyanarayan, Pawan, you are incorrect. And Karan is correct. Chandrakala, it's option number D. Everybody, it's option number D. Darknet actually is a term that just like our very own this internet that came from DARPANET, which is the Defense Research Organization of USA. So that also came, Darknet also came from ARPANET only. They initially came up with a network of devices where the computers, they take in information, but they don't respond to the system or the servers. So that is how they remain invisible. So Darknet is a special internet layer which actually remains invisible unless you are using special softwares. So a couple of softwares that can be used are Secure Drop, which is usually used by people who are whistleblowers or who want to communicate something when it is something which is in, in the advantage of humanity. And another one is a Tor platform, which is actually called the Darknet. The specific, it's a very, very large platform used by legitimate as well as for illegitimate purposes. So here you can only, the computers only respond to certain software. So you need to use certain softwares which are obviously costly. So mostly used by the hackers and whistleblowers or people who want to keep their communication secret. So these sites are something which we don't even know if they exist. It's very much like the dark matter. They don't interact, so we don't know about them. Is that okay? Yes, Arnab, a Tor and Onion browser. All right. Okay. Ashutosh is obviously ma'am. All right. Chalo. So this is your question number 5. Let's come to question number 6. This is also an easy one. So I give you 15 seconds to read and 30 seconds to answer. Yes, yes, Arnab. But I do guess that this should be quite risky because you don't know who are you interacting with. The name itself sounds pretty airy. I don't know if you have you accessed it any time. because I haven't. We don't know what is being used, and given the times of surveillance, we don't even know what we'll end up getting ourselves into. It's like a haunted house and you're trying to enter it just for fun. All right, your time starts now. All right, Arnab. Okay, so I have a couple of answers here for option number 6. Neelam, did you even read the options? Any one of you? Agroecology. Did you guys read the option or you just tick marked option number D? I guess except for Pavan, Bawa, Arnab, and nobody has read the options, even Chandrakala. I don't know what Abhishek goes and read. He's not even reading the screen. Option number 4, did you guys read? If option number 4, what does it have to do with agroecology? Anything with agriculture, anything with ecology, anything with reflection of sunlight. I'm supposing this is supposed to be the easiest question, right? How did you get this wrong? Just by not reading the question? It's option number A. Yes? Guys, read the question. Take this seriously. And Neelam, especially you. You're answering, you're the first one to answer and not even reading the question. And then you keep retracting your answers. If you're appearing for Prelims 2020, I just hope you would be more serious about it. What is the confusion? It is written reflection of sunlight, Ashutosh. This was supposed to be pretty easy, right? Guys, मतलब आसान question गलत मत करो यार. Difficult तो समझ आता है, but if you are screwing up with the easy ones, you're already screwed. Trust me. All right, let's begin with question number 7. 15 seconds to read and 30 seconds to answer. No, now is not even the time for chullu bhar pani. I'm saying you're already screwed. Get out of the exam already. You don't have the time and space to make the mistakes. You already know how many people appear for prelims. What are the odds of getting selected? And then you end up doing the easy questions wrong. Why? Because you didn't read them properly, because you didn't feel like reading them properly. Don't do that. The time starts now. Arnab, you know what? You were correct earlier. It's option number A only. Kandaleru Dam is in Andhra. Basically, it takes water from the Srisailam project and actually gives it to Chennai. And your Papua Highlands, they are in Indonesia. It's okay, Ashutosh. So, yeah, it is asking incorrectly matched. So, it's option number A, Arnab, and not B. B is correctly matched. Yes. So, Aditya is correct. Chandrakala is correct. You were supposed to be correct and now you're wrong. Is that okay? Papua Highlands are in Indonesia. That's a part of Indonesia only. You must be knowing about that. Go and look at the atlas. Shantini is also correct. All right. Let's come to question number 8. The National Population Register and the National Register of Citizens. Yeah, a part of that is actually belonging to Indonesia, Arnab, do you know about the Borneo Island also? It is occupied by 3 sovereign states. So go and look at the map again, right? All right. Question number 8. NPR and NRC. This is a repeated question, right? I have already explained it to you in great detail. We have done the distinction on it. So I'll give you 20 seconds to read. It's a long one, and 30 seconds to answer. All right, another 10 seconds. And there we go. Prakash, how did you manage to come to the class? It's not even a holiday. Are you on a leave from office? All right. Yes. Ashutosh, Neelam, Akash, Prakash, and Satyanarayan, you guys are correct. It's option number B, 1 and 2. So, yes, it is indeed a list of usual residents of the country. So, it can include foreigners. Whereas your National Register of Citizens, as the name says, citizens, will not include foreigners who are just here for temporary stay. Now, what is a usual resident? We have already done this. A country who has been residing in a local area, any local area, for at least the last 6 months or intends to stay in a particular location for the next 6 months. Right? All right, Prakash. And it is not similar to NRC because it is different from NRC. That's why it's not similar to NRC. So option number B is the correct option. Aditya is correct and Abhishek is also correct. So basically, they're doing it under the Ministry of Home Affairs, and your NPR, National Population Register, is being prepared under the provisions of the Citizenship Act 1955, right? And the new rules. And this one, it is conducted as in conjunction with the house listing phase or the first phase of the census for 2021 under the office of the Registrar General of India. So in the NPR, we were not including Assam because NRC has already been done there, which has been in so much controversy. So we've already discussed that. Good afternoon, Aditya. All right, Bawa. All right. Okay. Let's come to question number 9. Easiest one for today, right? G4 countries बहुत बार सुन चुके हैं already. Why are they together? Just to have a seat at the UN Security Council, a permanent seat at the UN Security Council. So this should be pretty easy now. Your time starts now. All right. So Ashutosh has answered. Prakash, I wasn't expecting you to get it wrong. And rest of you have answered it correctly. So except for Prakash and Ashutosh, everyone else has answered it correctly. It's option number B, 1 and 4. Italy and Kenya both are not part. It's Germany which is there, not Italy. इटली वालों को खाना बनाने से ही फुर्सत नहीं मिलती है. They have a really good cuisine and most of their time is actually taken up in making the dough for the pizzas, so they really don't get the time to be a part of G4. India, Japan, Germany and Brazil are there, right? Yes, Ashutosh. That's why it's option number B. Agreed? Shantini, you're also correct. So it's India, Brazil, Japan and Germany. So maybe we can do something about it. Okay, we can't do anything about it. Okay. I was just thinking if we could actually come up with a four-letter word or something for them. Yes. Let's come to question number 10. The forest plus 2. This question also we have done. Alright. So it's a repeat question. I'm hoping you remember it. Even if you don't, it's okay. Because this question we did like 3 months ago. Oh, I do love Italian cuisine too. That's what I'm saying. Now we eat too much Italian so that they are only busy kneading the dough most of the times. So they don't get enough time to be in G4 and fight for the UN Security Council seat. Germany has done enough inventions and doesn't feel recognized for its efforts. India jumps in everywhere it feels like. I don't know what Brazil is doing there. Japan is too small to be recognized, just like Taiwan was not recognized. So let's see what are their success chances for this. Yes, thanks Ashutosh. Biji works. Actually, we can write it big J. The big J. B-I-G and then dash J. Big J. That's more easy to remember. Your time starts now. All right. I already have the answers. All of you have answered it correctly. Yes, it's option number B. MOEFCC and the USAID, they have started it together. So it's a joint venture between US and India. Now, they actually launched it in 2018. It's a 5-year program. They want to develop tools and techniques to bolster ecosystem management and actually cooperate each other on harnessing ecosystem services and forest landscape management. So forest plus 2 is an initiative of both of them. It's a joint venture launched in September 2019. So USAID plus MOEFCC. All right. Option number B. Chandrakala, option number B. So most of you are correct except for Arnab and Chandrakala. Both of them, it's option number B. Let's come to question number 11, term cyber hygiene. Yesterday we did a term called vaccine hesitancy. Remember? In the Unacademy session. Today we are doing a term cyber hygiene. So I'll give you 30 seconds to answer it. Okay. Ashutosh is the first one to answer correctly. I guess the rest of you are answering it. Yes, it's pretty easy actually. It refers to the practice and precautions user take to keep sensitive data safe from the theft. For example, if you're using net banking, you log out. You don't leave that window open. You don't use your card at any place, or you don't use net banking on public networks. Try not to do that, though I am myself guilty of doing that pretty often. So that's about it, right? So cyber hygiene is precautions you take to keep sensitive data safe from theft. In the same light, we also discussed this one, juice hacking. Remember? That's an old concept that we already did, juice hacking. It just reminded me of that. Anybody remembers this? The juice hacking part? All right. Let's come to question number 12. Yeah, Neelam is right. Your phone gets hacked because you're charging it at a public place. All right. Question number 12. Another 15 seconds to read. This you guys must be already knowing. It's there in the AC Chatterjee book. So you must be knowing it already. Question number 12. 15 seconds to read and 30 seconds to answer. Yes, Aditya, right. Yeah, Ashutosh, even I'm not able to remember that. There are so many terms. There was one more thing apart from juice jacking. You're right. Yes, Ashutosh, you're right. Even I'm not able to recall it. I'll be able to recall it. We did something like the malware attacks which happened by Iraq, Iran, whatever, something. Israel had done some malware attacks and we discussed it in context of that. All right, we'll start the time. Yes, Prakash is right. It's the Pegasus attacks. Right. That's when we discussed this juice hacking thing also. Right. I keep forgetting the names. All right. Yes. Ashutosh, it's not B. Neelam, it's not A. It's option number C. Both the options are correct. It's a Gujarati English weekly publication out of Durban in South Africa when he came out with his first newspaper. And yes, it was Mahatma Gandhi, the Indian opinion. All right. Okay. Let's move on to question number 13. This is an interesting question. I don't know how many of you have heard about it, but it's a pretty easy one. So I give you 15 to 20 seconds rather, to read all those difficult names, and then I'll switch on the timer. All right, 30 seconds to answer. Yes, Abhishek, it's the Pegasus software issue. No, I think I discussed it on YouTube only, not on Unacademy. I didn't discuss it on Unacademy. All right, we'll start with the timer. Okay. Is that? Yes, Ashutosh. It's in Gujarati and Hindi both. Gujarati and Hindi weekly both. Okay. Well, Aditya is right. Aditya Sharma is right. It's option number D. Neelam is right. Guys, it's all of the above. So the answer to the 13th question is all of the above. These are the potential high altitude tiger landscapes. Valmiki we have already done. Manas we have done. Neura Valley we have done. I guess Pithoragarh we have done. Right? So all of these are potential high altitude tiger landscapes. The Valmiki Chitwan Annapura is India, Nepal. Manas, Royal Manas, Jigme Dorji, obviously India, Bhutan. Neura Valley, Torsa, Buksa, Phibsu, India, Bhutan. Ascot, Pithoragarh, Nandhaur, Surakpantha, India, Nepal, because it's with Uttarakhand. And Arunachal, Sikkim, bordering Bhutan, so that's obviously India, Bhutan. So all of them are possible tiger landscapes. We have already done all these tiger reserves in the country, and we have already marked the 13 states or 14 states which are the tiger range states. So we've already done that. All right. Akash and Chandrakala, Prakash, Satyanarayan, Ashutosh, it's option number D. All right, all of them. Now, question number 14. The last session when we did, I told you that all the monkeys are endangered, all the deers are endangered, all the rats are critically endangered, right? Remember? Except for one deer hangul, which is critically endangered, all the other deer are endangered. Okay. Bawa, it's not the time to discuss favorite kids of Unacademy. Let's get back to questions. Let's finish them off. फटाफट फटाफट करते हैं. चलो. Question number 14, 15 seconds to read, 30 seconds to answer. Yeah. Abhishek, are you not listening to me? That's what I said. Hangul is critically endangered. I mean, listen to me properly before saying anything. I already said that. Okay, your time starts now. All right. So, Akash has answered it correctly. Shantini has answered correctly. Bawa has answered correctly. Aditya Sharma has answered correctly. Ashutosh has answered correctly. It's option number D. All are correct. Red panda, I know what you're thinking. Red panda is not critically endangered. Red panda is endangered. Namdafa, flying squirrel and pygmy hawk we've already done are critically endangered. We discussed about them in the last session also when we took the name of all those animals which are critically endangered. And along with red panda, we also discussed that tiger, the lion, the khadai camels, right? They all come under endangered category only. We had discussed the Sumatran rhinos in the last class. So they are under the critically endangered category. Is that okay? It's okay, Abhishek. It's okay. So that is how it is. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 15. This will be people who have been attending the Unacademy sessions. They'll find it easy to answer because all these rivers I have covered there, right? So I'll give you 15 seconds to read and to apply your brains and remember what I had talked about in the Unacademy sessions, and then 30 seconds to answer. And Sumatran rhinos are the smallest of the rhinos. The two-horned rhinos. They are the two-horned rhinos. We also discussed them in detail. I'm not discussing these species again because we've already discussed them previously. So just to save the time and do more questions. All right, your time starts now. All right, I'll wait for others to answer. Okay. Um, Only two people have answered it to me correctly. That's Aditya, Bawa, sorry, 3, and Shantani. So Aditya, Bawa and Shantani have answered it to me correctly. Yes, it's all are correct. We have discussed this. The Amur Darya, Ashutosh has also answered it correctly now. We discussed Sir Darya in the last class, which rises in the Fargana Valley in Uzbekistan. And I told you then that the Amur Darya rises in Tajikistan and they both end up falling in the Aral Sea. Remember, we have discussed this. Dnieper River rises in the Valdai Hills in Russia, same as the Volga River, which actually divides the European and the Asian part of the Russia. Yes, Ashutosh, I took your name. That's what I'm saying. Listen to me first and then reply in the chat. Amazon River, yes. The head rivers of Amazon River is the Rio Mantaro River, which actually then goes ahead and meets the Negro River further down from where it starts being called in Brazil the Amazon River. Otherwise, it's called the Solimões River before that. You guys remember? And that place is Manaus. From where in Brazil, Amazon is actually started to call Amazon River. Otherwise, it is called the Solimões River. And do you guys remember? I showed you the Negro River. What are clear water rivers, black water rivers, and white water rivers? Remember? Chalo. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 16. I'll give you 15 seconds to 20 seconds to read and 30 seconds to answer. Yes, and when we discussed Blackwater River, I said Negro is the largest Blackwater river in the world, which meets the Amazon River at the Manaus city, which is the largest habitation around the Amazon River. Then they combine and then they flow and drain into the Brazilian highlands or the Brazilian basin in the Atlantic Ocean. All right, your time starts now. All right. Okay. Ashutosh, Akash, Satyanarayan, Neelam, all of you are correct. Yes, it's option number B. 1 and 2 are correct. It was not initiated by India. However, India did join it recently, the International Partnership on Information and Democracies. So let's actually just talk about it. Basically, 20 countries, including France, Britain, and India, they recently joined it somewhere in 2019 at the United Nations to spread the to stop the spread of fake news online. So the signatories also include South Africa and Canada. They actually are committed to promoting independently reported, diverse, and reliable information on the internet. Under the accord, it was initiated by Reporters Without Borders, just like there is Doctors Without Borders, right? Doctors Sans Frontiers. So similarly, you have Reporters Without Borders, which is a press freedom watchdog. So it was initiated by them just to so that the fake news can be controlled, which was very, very viral during 2019. It is still viral right now, but the government has been able to take some sort of control over it. So Aditya, Shantani and Chandrakala, it's option number B. All right. Okay. Let's move on to question number 17 now. Yes, Ashutosh, they released the press freedom index also. You're right. Your time starts now. Aditya, I guess somewhere in the end of 2019. Can you check between September to December? All right. So most of you are correct. Yes, it's option number C. INS Nilgiri, yes, it is the first ship under Project 17A. They are actually designed after the Shivalik class stealth frigates. So the new thing about the Project 17A is, I have discussed this in the Unacademy Defense Technology sessions. So if you guys want to go and check it out, you can go and check out. The entire thing has been discussed there. They will have, the only difference of these frigates is under Project 17A that they'll have better stealth features. That means they can hide better, and they'll have indigenous weapons and sensors. That's the only difference they have from the original Shivalik class stealth frigates. Is that okay? So INS Nilgiri is the first ship of Project 17A that we are doing indigenously. Yes, Aditya, it's option number C. Let's come to question number 18. I'll take you back to everybody to their mother's womb. We'll discuss a question regarding placenta here. So I'll give you 15 seconds to read and then 30 seconds to answer. It should be easy to everybody. Your time starts now. Uh, well, Ashutosh, Arnab has answered correctly. It's option number B. Neelam has answered correctly. Ashutosh, you got it right. It's not a permanent organ. That's why option number A is incorrect. The rest of the statement is correct, but it being a permanent organ, that is incorrect, and hence the answer is option number B only. So you could have done it correctly. So Jyotsna, Satyanarayan, Shantini, and Bhawa, all of you are right. Aditya, Chandrakala, and Ashutosh, it's option number B. Neelam and Arnab are also right, right? So it is not a permanent organ, it's a temporary organ. Why would you have placenta permanently? It's not required when the woman is not pregnant. So this organ actually attaches to the wall of the uterus. That's where all the nutrition and oxygen is passed to the mother of the fetus, from the mother to the fetus. And it actually separates, the main aim of placenta is to separate the blood of the mother from the fetus. And yes, it lies on the either end of the umbilical cord and has two sides, one on the side of the mother and the other on the side of the fetus to actually transport nutrition and oxygen. Is that okay? It's okay, Ashutosh, happens. All right. So recently, why we are actually talking about it is because a recent study reported that particles of black carbon, or what we call soot, right? They have been found in the placenta of women who were breathing these when they were exposed to these particles during pregnancies. So what they are trying to suggest is that even, I mean, the child can be exposed to the adverse effects of air pollution even during the pregnancy. So it is pretty important that we keep the air around the pregnant women clean. Otherwise, our next generation will be sick because their mothers' bodies are infected. So that's why this entire thing was in news. Aditya, 2 by 2 sides, it means one on the mother's side and the other on the fetus's side. It's like if it's a membrane kind of structure, this is the mother side, this is the fetus side to transport oxygen and nutrition. Is that okay? Yeah, it is a pity indeed. That's the side that they are talking about. They're not talking about having two pipes at each end. No, that's not happening. Or two organs at each end. No. It's just a membrane kind of thing. So you have one on the side of the mother, another one on the side of the fetus. Otherwise, how will the fetus absorb anything? Is that okay? And obviously, Aditya, I can't answer beyond that because I haven't been a mother myself. Otherwise, I would have known. Is that okay? All right. Let's come to question number 19. I'll give you 15 seconds to read and 30 seconds to answer. Time starts now. All right, Babu, I will let you know. Okay. So coming to question number 19, I have a couple of answers here. Well, Ashutosh, Neelam. Okay. Nobody is correct. It's option number C. Uh, the Galos, yes, they inhabit Assam and Arunachal Pradesh besides Tibet, and they do trace their common origin to a primeval ancestor Abutani. Now, can anybody tell me? I will definitely tell you why it was in news. Yes, Nandini, you are right. Both are correct. So, why did you do option number? Okay, I'm sorry. Or not option number C, option number D. My bad. Incorrect. Sorry. Both are correct. So, option number D is correct. So, I guess everybody is correct. Ashutosh is correct. Akash is correct. Shantani is correct. Aditya is correct. It's Apadani. All right. See, you know better. Any which ways. Talking about it, both these points are correct. Can anybody tell me why was it in news? Why are we even talking about the Galos? Tell me, Ashutosh. Why are we talking about them? Anybody else wants to tell me why are we talking about them? Nandini, Neelam, Shantani. All right. So I'll tell you, basically we're talking about them because these tribes, they have their own ritual of lockdown. So they use that ritual whenever an epidemic strikes. So no, Bawa, we're not talking them about them because they are PVTG. Yes, they are listed as scheduled tribes under the constitution, but we're talking about them because they have this ritual called a Ripnam, ARRRIPNAM, something like that. So no, no, Aditya, not Edu Mishmi. It's because of that ritual. In that ritual, they actually do a lockdown of their own, right? So they did it. They usually do it for some other epidemics. The last time they did it was a waterborne epidemic that happened in Assam and Arunachal. Usually these people don't require it, they are very close to nature. But during the coronavirus crisis, they had their own version of the lockdown, which is a very ancient rituals of theirs. So that's why it was in news. They had their own sense of lockdown. Is that okay? Are you guys now remembering it? Let me just remember the name. I'm not able to recall the name exactly. I guess it is. Wait, the name is. All right, so they did it in March itself when we were locking down around somewhere in the March 24, 25th March. They did it at the fag end of March. This is their ritual. Yes, Aditya. Arinam. Arinam. Not Aripanam. Arinam. Is that okay? So that's about it. Yes. Okay. Let's come to question number 20 now. I'll give you 15 seconds to read, 30 seconds to answer. Your time starts now. I guess only one person has answered me correctly up till now. That's Nandini. Yes, you're right, Nandini. It's the UN Convention on International Settlement Agreements, UNISA. Option number D. So Aditya and Nandini both are correct. Yes, Nandini, you're right. So in this, the Union Cabinet actually approved the signing of this convention. It's also known as the Singapore Convention on Mediation. The reason why the cabinet agreed to signing this is it will send a positive signal to all the foreign investors that if there is a settlement agreement which is reached through arbitration, Indian government is going to honor it. So it's a part of the alternative dispute resolution. That brings me to another question. What is alternative mechanism? We just discussed it in yesterday's class on Unacademy. I guess not even on Unacademy, we discussed it in the YouTube session. What is alternative mechanism? Does anyone remember? Alternative mechanism? Anybody remembers alternative mechanism? So since this convention, the Alternative Dispute Resolution Convention or the UNISA Convention was signed in Singapore in August 19, it is known as Singapore Convention on Mediation. So it will provide an efficient framework for enforcement of international settlement agreements and resulting from mediation and allowing parties to invoke such agreements and ensuring that the other party honors its commitments under this. Nope, Sashutosh. Alternative mechanism is not for energy sufficient technology. Anybody else? Any guesses? Are you guys, don't you guys remember we discussed this? It's about disinvestment in PSUs. Nandini is right. Strategic disinvestment in the PSUs. And now the alternative mechanism is headed by the finance minister, Nirmala Sitharaman. No Aditya and no Ashutosh. Not energy efficient technology. It's strategic disinvestment. Why are we calling it strategic disinvestment? Normal disinvestment is not privatization. You're just selling your stakes. Strategic disinvestment means you're finding a private partner to actually privatize your public sector entities. Right? So Nandini is correct. Very well done, Nandini. Very well done. Let's come to question number 21. You have 20 seconds to read this because this is a long question, and then 30 seconds to answer it. Remember, Aditya, we discussed it in the class itself. Okay. Another 7 seconds for you to read and then 30 seconds to answer. Your time starts now. This one's easy, right? Pretty intuitive. कोई दिक्कत नहीं आशुतोष. All right. Yes, the option is option number D. All the 3 points are correct. It's a non-governmental organization based out of Paris. India has hosted the International Astronautical Congress twice earlier, 1988 in Bangalore and 2007 in Hyderabad. It was established, this IAF, International Astronautical Federation, in 1951. And your International Astronautical Congress is the largest space event in the world, right? So apart from ISRO, Zovian Research and Technology is a private company. Astronomical Society of India, they are also part of IAF from India, right? So people come to collaborate and discuss their research findings in this Congress. Is that okay? So everybody is correct. Guys, I have Patwari, you joined late today. What happened? Okay, since Ashutosh said something, everybody who's preparing, now we are almost round the corner. The prelims are approaching. Those who are approaching for 2021, those who are studying here for 2021, I have a very special secret to share with you. There is a lot to remember in this exam. So first thing, not everything is to be remembered. And the second thing, the best thing to remember anything is to read it again and again. It will be in your muscle memory. Connect things. Instead of sitting down and trying to memorize things, connect things and read them again and again. The more you read, the more clarity you will have and the more you will remember things. You won't remember things in one go. Even if you sit down one day and try to remember everything, that will not happen. This exam has too many things to memorize. So what you can do is revise, revise, revise. That's the key to remembering things here. Let's move on to question number 22. Another of your ISRO's technical liaison unit questions. A very easy one given ISRO's inclination. So your time starts now. Patwari, it was option number D. All were correct. I'm not getting any answers from Arnab. Arnab, are you alive? Dead? What happened? Okay, any answers so far? This should have been easy, guys. Arnab is alive. Okay. And he is answering my questions incorrectly. Ashutosh is right. When I said ISRO's inclination, guys, do you even think we should have something in Indonesia? But talking about Indonesia, there is something in Indonesia. We opened a port in Indonesia, countering China's string of pearl strategy. Can anybody tell me the name of that port in Indonesia? That Indonesian port which was opened recently last year. The correct answer here is Moscow, Russia. यार इसरो के पास दो ही तो लोग हैं, या तो यूएस के पास चले जाओ, या यूरोप के पास चले जाओ, या रशिया के पास चले जाओ. यूएसए इज नॉट हियर. यूरोप में फ्रांस वी डू बट नॉट दैट मच. सो बचा कौन है, मतलब द बिगर पार्टनर. इफ रशिया इज अवेलेबल डेफिनेटली इट विल बी ईदर रशिया और यूएसए. यूएसए हमको ज्यादा घास नहीं डालता है व्हेन इट कम्स टू स्पेस टेक्नोलॉजी. इट्स मॉस्को व्हिच हैज बीन सपोर्टिंग अस सो फार, राइट? सो इट्स ऑप्शन नंबर सी, मॉस्को. Right, Russia. Right, Nandini. So, yes, Aditya is right. It's Sabang. Indonesia, we have the Sabang port. All right. Indonesia will have nothing to do with ISRO. They don't, they can't even manage their own stuff. Forget about managing our stuff. All right. So, the Union Cabinet actually approved setting up of ISRO Technical Liaison Unit at Moscow, Russia, so that they can easily collaborate with the space agencies, industries in Russia and the neighboring countries, that means the Central Asian countries, for mutually synergetic outcomes. Basically, they'll be cooperating with Russia. All right. Let's come. Yeah, Aditya remembers it because this is a question we did like 3 months ago. Remember, Aditya, the Sabang port in Indonesia? Okay. So, and I also showed you. It is actually, it looks like this. This is your Strait of Malacca, right? This is Malay Peninsula. Somewhere here, I think on the Java island, it is your Sabang port, if I'm not wrong. So I think it's the Java island. It's just at the start of the mouth of Strait of Malacca, which we did yesterday. So that's your Sabang port. All right. Okay. Let's come to question number 23. I give you 20 seconds to read and 30 to answer. It's pretty easy. Yes, Aditya. June or July में किया था. The time starts now. All right. आकाश, CAG तो 148 ठीक है. Yeah, this is CGA, Controller General of Accounts. Comptroller General of Accounts नहीं है ये, ढंग से पढ़ो. Ashutosh has answered it correctly. It's option number A. 3 only. All right. So let's discuss this. Your Controller General of Accounts is a normal body. He is somebody who is in the Department of Expenditure, Ministry of Finance, a principal accounting advisor to Government of India. So not a constitutional body. However, he or she exercises the powers of the President under Article 150 of the Constitution, which is for establishing and maintaining a technically sound management and accounting system. So all the powers which are related to finance, when it comes to government accounting, they are executed by the Controller General of Accounts. Definitely the President knows nothing. So somebody has to execute it, right? So that's the Controller General of Accounts. So it's Article 150 in which it is listed about his powers. I want you guys to go and check it out. So Assuming only one guy has done it correctly, and it's Ashutosh. Else everybody, I don't know what you were reading and why are you involved in the CAG. Even I know CAG is Article 148, but I'm asking you about Controller General of Accounts. Powers of President means जो भी powers are related to when it comes to financial responsibility of the President towards the government of, towards the people of India, which are listed in the Constitution. Money bills पे assent चाहिए, ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए. CAG की report table करनी है Parliament में. That's what the President does, right? So all these powers are executed by the Controller General of Accounts. Is that okay, Ashutosh? For more, I would actually ask you to read Article 150. If you still have doubts, then come back, we'll discuss it tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Is that okay, Ashutosh? And all the others, right? Okay. Let's move on to question number 24. Your time starts now. Actually, to tell you the truth, Ashutosh, he is not really strong. It's okay. So, do you guys know that the Comptroller and Auditor General of India, the CAG, he prescribes the format in which the accounts of the Government of India has to be kept, right? Yes, it's option number C, Tamil Nadu. It's a folk art of Tamil Nadu. So, Ashutosh is correct. Arnab, Chandrakala, there is somebody called Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And Shantini Satyanarayan Akash, it's option number C, Tamil Nadu. So, right? Okay. So, only one person got it correct. Now, talking about the previous question actually, see, your CAG, he suggests that your budget, your financial documents should look like in a prescribed format. For example, you should have the expenditure here, you should have the revenues here, you should have the budget estimates here, you should have the revised budget estimates here. So, he suggests a format. It is the responsibility, the President is supposed to ensure that all our financial documents are in the prescribed format by the CAG. So President would of course wouldn't know any finance. He wouldn't sit with a pen and paper and decide to suggest it to the Government of India. So the executive body is the Controller General of Accounts, which actually implements the format given by CAG. So that's the power of the President under Article 150 of the Constitution. Right? Okay. Chal. So your Thudumbu, it's a percussion instrument from the Kongu region, right? That is Tamil Nadu. And Thudumbattam, it's a folk art form from the Coimbatore town in Tamil Nadu. Is that okay? Let's move on to question number 25. I'll give you 15 seconds to read and 30 seconds to answer. क्या सोचा था आदित्य तुमने? बताओ मुझे भी. Tell me. What did you think? And where did it went wrong? All right, another 5 seconds and then 30 seconds to answer the question. Ashutosh and everybody else, Article 150 clear हो गया है? Is 150, Article 150 clear to everybody? Nandini, Satyanarayan, Shantini, Aditya, Ashutosh, Akash, somebody called Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and Chandrakala. All right, we'll start the timer. ये क्वेश्चन ना थोड़ा ट्रिकी है, तो ढंग से करना. Great. Oh, Nandini, you're still here. I thought you left already. That's why I didn't take your name. Okay. आदित्य मुझसे पूछ रहा है, क्वेश्चन नहीं कर रहा है, he's asking me. All right. Yes, you guys are right. It's option number B because. All right, Ashutosh. Great. So, Mr. or Miss Twinkle Star is correct. All right. So, when it talk about collagen, why will fat be able to keep your structure supported? That never happens. Trust me, I would have loved fat otherwise. It's protein, which I'm not able to get properly in my diet. So, collagen is a single most abundant protein substance in the animal kingdom. 1/3 of our body is made up of collagen, which keeps our bone structure, our skin structure at place. So, whatever that Botox injections that celebrities do take, right? They are nothing but collagen injections into their skin to keep it young and supple. So, it gives your skin strength and elasticity, which the skin starts losing after a certain age, right? All right. So, collagen is hard, it's insoluble, and it's a fibrous protein that makes 1/3 of the protein in the human body. It supports structures and anchors cells to each other so that the skin is strong and elastic. And now, why are we doing it? Why was it in news? Because US scientists have been able to build successful functional parts out of collagen using a 3D bioprinter. So that means lesser heart attacks, lesser use of the pacemaker maybe. So somebody might not die of an electric shock if something happens. So they actually did that. Let's come to question number 26. The national flag of India. ये इंडिया बुक से है डायरेक्ट, ठीक है? So अब ये पता है तो पता है, नहीं पता है तो नहीं पता है. Nobody can do anything about it. Another 10 seconds and then your time starts. All right, the time starts now. This is the easiest one. This is directly from the India yearbook. Ashutosh can't help laughing. He's still rolling on the floor laughing. Did I say something that hilarious about the fat wala part? It's actually true, trust me. I've been trying to inject myself with so much proteins, I ended up getting acne on all over my body. So I had to stop taking proteins, additional proteins, supplemental proteins. And my sister started calling me a gym hunk after that. I actually became very bulky after taking those protein supplements. All right. So, yes, Josh is right. It's option number C. Actually, if you go and read the India book, citizens of India can hoist the Indian flag over their homes, offices, and factories on any day, given that they are respecting the flag as per the flag code 2002. Is that okay? You are not having the flag turned upside down, the flag is not torn, the pole is not broken. If you're respecting the national flag, you can fly it over your homes. All right? And the first option is definitely correct. That happened on 22nd July 1947. Yes, any day. That's what I said, na? Except for the exception is except for the flag code wala thing. Except for the exceptions of the flag code 2002. Obviously, you wouldn't be doing it when we are at a war with somebody and flying around the national flag here and there or running around with it. So, but however, given in the reasonable restrictions, you can host the Indian flag over your homes, offices, and factories. All right? Okay. So, and this is actually a part of section 2 of flag code. Rights of all private citizens to fly the flag on their premises. Let's come to question number 27. This should be very easy. Tiger Hills have been so much in news. I have actually visited Tiger Hill. So, I'll give you another 10 seconds to read and then 30 seconds to answer. Now, Ashutosh is still laughing. Good. Nandini was confused. Ma'am, A करें कि C करें? चलिए ma'am दोनों कर देते हैं. There should be option for people like Nandini. Both A and C. Chalo tumhara man rakh liya. Aditya, I wanted to become a bodybuilder. That was the reason I was taking those supplements, because I was really working my ass off in the gym. So, despite my trainer not liking, you know, me taking protein supplements, but finally, after like 7 years of gymming, we actually hit a plateau. So, and he's a head trainer of the gym. So, he suggested that, ma'am, I think it's about time you need to take protein supplements, because your vegetarian diet is not going to supply you with that, and you can't eat eggs. So we ended up taking the proteins, and I ended up ruining my skin for like 3-4 months. Why would you use your तुम Indian flag को commercial purposes के लिए क्या? What do you want to do, Aditya? Sell the Indian flag on roads on 15th August? Obviously, you are not going to do anything with the flag which is beyond the permissions of the Flag Code 2002, right? So everybody is right. It's option number D, Jammu and Kashmir. So Tiger Hills in the Batalik sector where Captain Vikas Batra died, that's the place which has been opened for tourism recently. So that's why the Tiger Hills were in news. Is that okay? It's actually located in Kargil. Let's come to question number 28. I don't have to make a gym at home. I have been working out, Nandini, for 8 years now. Gold's Gym is my favorite. That's my home. Better than my home. I remember when I left for XLRI, I didn't click a picture of my actual house. I clicked a picture of my gym as a memory because I was leaving home. Yes, Aditya, for the second point only I'm saying. If you're hoisting it on your premises, you're not using it for any commercial purposes, private premises. Commercial पे मैंने कहीं देखा भी नहीं है किसी को fly करते हुए. But you can. अगर तुम्हारे commercial enterprises भी हैं तो भी you can fly this flag, because we used to have it on the universities, even the private universities have it on their this campuses. All right, your time starts now. So, Ashutosh, I guess you answered for question number 28. Some Miss Star, Mr. Star, Twinkle Star, whatever he or she is, has also answered for option number 28. Arnab is yet to decide what he wants to do with his life. Answer the question, not answer the question, or maybe just, skip it altogether. All right. All of you guys are right. Yes, it's A only. India is a member of East Asia Summit. That's ASEAN plus 6. However, India is not a member of ASEAN, and definitely India is a member of Mekong Ganga Cooperation. So remember, East Asia Summit is ASEAN plus 6. We were added to the East Asia Summit to counter China. So I have taught this entire thing when I discussed India-China relations. Chandrakala and Patwari, Aditya, Satyanarayan and Arnab. Question number 28 is option number A. East Asia Summit is ASEAN plus 6. Finally, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star has answered. All right, Mr. Little Star. It's option number A. You're correct. All right. Let's come to question number 29. The Sankalp scheme. ये तो सबने सुना ही होगा अभी तक तो. अब तो prelims आ ही गए हैं. I'll give you 20 seconds to read. थोड़ा लंबा है question, and then 30 seconds to answer. So, Mr. Little Star, what is your sorry, not knowledge. What is your name, if I may know, so that I can call you by your name? All right, another 5 seconds and then we'll start the time. The time starts now. Oh, you're from Shillong, Bankit. Nice to know. Great. इतना time लग गया नाम बताने में. You understand Hindi? All right. Okay. Yes. Arnab, Hari, Ashutosh, and Satyanarayan, you guys are correct. Shantini is also correct. It's option number 1, 2, and 3. All are correct. It's actually linked to your National Skill Development Mission. And the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship is actually responsible for it. And why it was in news is because it is being supported by the World Bank. So since it's being supported by the World Bank, they have come up with certain project indicators to see which states are doing well. So your funds will be released only after you are meeting those indicators in a positive manner. So it actually focuses on the overall skill ecosystem covering both center and state agencies. So this is also correct. So talking about it, it actually is an outcome oriented project. What do we mean by outcome oriented project? As I just told you, the outcomes will be measured through disbursement linked indicators. If you have been given money, what have you done with it? What is the outcome to show? How many people have been skilled? For example, outcomes will be number of people skilled, right? What are the different numbers of people skilled in different kind of skills? Have they been placed successfully? What is the normal time of training? Where are the trainings being conducted? So this kind of data will be measured under this program. Let's come to question number 30 now. Institute of Eminence scheme. We have already done this question in great detail 2-3 months ago when we discussed the 5 or 6 institutes of eminence that have been added newly. So I'm presuming you won't be remembering anything what we have done. That's why this question. All right. So I'll give you 15 seconds to read and then 30 seconds to answer. Another 7 seconds and then we'll start the timer. Till the time you can read. Your timing starts now. Okay. So we have a couple of correct answers here. Let me see. B is for the 30th question. Okay. So I'm starting after Arnab has answered it. Which of the following are incorrect? Okay. All right. Ashutosh is correct. Aditya is correct. Satyanarayan, Hari, Shantini, Chandrakala, Nandini. All of you are correct. Aditya Sharma is also correct and Patwari is correct. Yes, option number 1 and 3 are incorrect. Not all institutions, only public institutions. However, the IOE status can be granted to both public and private institutions. For example, I am quite sure a lot of you will be aware of BITS Pilani. It's one of the oldest and one of the most premier engineering institutes in India, better than most of the IITs. I mean, only IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi or IIT Kharagpur is comparable, but BITS Pilani is a different scale altogether. You should go and visit their campus sometime. Pilani is a place near Churu in Rajasthan. So BITS Pilani is also an institute of eminence for the engineering people, and trust me, the examination is tougher than the IIT exam for BITS Pilani if you appear, because I've appeared for this exam. Yes, so incorrect is option number 1 and option number 3. However, the institutes of eminence, they do have greater autonomy compared to higher educational institutions. They can decide their own syllabus, they can have their own people in the board, they can have the exams they want, and they can decide the fee that way they want. That's the biggest advantage. They can decide upon the fees that they want to charge from the students. Now, it is given to both public and private, but the funding of 1000 crore is only available to your public institutions. For example, IIT Delhi and IIT Bombay are public institutions under this Institutes of Eminence Excellence. So as of now, I guess between 16 to 20 institutes have been declared as Institutes of Eminence in India. Right? So the scheme is to actually bring them in top 500 of the world ranking in the next 10 years and eventually in the top 100. So that's why they have been selected, and they are selected by an empowered expert committee which sees actually whether or not the institute has the power to become or to come in the top 500. So this 1000 crores funding is given for a period of 5 years. You're right, Aditya. Right, Ashutosh. So everybody has those memories. The campus is awesome. Their cultural thing is pretty awesome. And the placements are simply amazing. All right. Hari, I guess it's 16. Not even 15, it's 16. All right. Let's come to question number 31. Aditya, you must be remembering this. Quick reaction surface to air missiles, Akash missile, which we have already discussed. Defense technology ke sessions mein. Yaad hai? The short range missiles. So I give you another 15 to 20 seconds, 20 seconds to read and 30 seconds to answer. The time starts now. All right. I already have a lot of answers. Pretty good. And interestingly, only 2 people remember what I've taught them. Aditya Singh, I haven't taught you, but Aditya Sharma remembers what I taught him. So only one person is correct here. 2 people are correct here. Aditya, both the Adityas are correct. It's option number B. It does not use liquid fuel propellant. It uses solid fuel. And it is actually there to replace the Akash missile, which is a surface to air missile. Right? So it's not option C. The range remains almost similar, and yes, it has been developed by the DRDO. Interestingly, this missile, why it was developed? Because it will have a quicker reaction time, better radars, and it can carry or it can hit multiple targets. So multiple targets, better stealth, quicker reaction times, easy to maneuver because it's a solid fuel, right? Range, however, remains similar to that of Akash. Okay? If you want to know more, my Unacademy Science and Tech lectures are available as a plus course on Unacademy, where I have taught the entire year, May 2019 to May 2020's Science and Technology, distributed in 13 lectures covering defense, biotechnology, space technology, etc., separate lectures for them. I have covered the entire defense technology there in 2 or 3 lectures, 2.5 lectures. So this I've taught there. Alright, so if you want to go and check it out, if you have the Plus membership, go and check out the entire course. It was the course designed for UPSC 2020, both prelims and mains. Alright, let's come to the last question of today. Question number 32. We are ending here. So I'll give you 15 to 20 seconds to read and then 30 seconds to answer. And mind you guys, Aditya, Shantini, all those who are repeating here with me, Ashutosh, we have already done this question. I have shown you this worm and somebody had then remarked, when I showed you the picture of this worm on Unacademy, somebody had remarked, ma'am, you clicked the entire family together and the worms must have said instead of cheese, leaves. When you said that I wanted to click you, they must have said leaves, right? So I hope you guys remember this. Ashutosh remembers because Ashutosh was the one who said, ma'am, instead of cheese, the worms are saying leaves. Remember, I showed you the picture. If you remember it, and that day I also showed you certain memes that humanity can't catch a break. First the locust attack, then the coronavirus, and then this worm attack. Rings a bell, Ashutosh? Rings a bell, Aditya? I don't think you were there in the class. Shantini? Does not ring a bell for anybody. Okay, now I'll take the actual name. Do you remember this name? Have you read it? The fall army worm. So nobody except for Nandini has answered this correctly. It's option number D. Yes, Aditya? Okay. So only Nandini was able to answer it correctly. It's option number D. Both these statements are wrong because it is not about pink bollworm and it is actually not considered about this. So this fall army worm is also known as Podotiptera frugiparda. It's its scientific name. Now, recently the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare launched a website dedicated to help the farmers against the fall army worm. It is a native of the Americas, discovered in Karnataka for the first time last year, feeds on over 80 species of crops, especially maize. That's where we discussed it. But also destroys the sorghum crops and others. Remember? Yes, it's the army worm. Now, talking about it, all right. So, the website actually carries useful tips and information to prevent and control the fall army worm. Interestingly, why this army worm is dreaded? Because we are still not sure how to control it, first thing. The second thing is, though these species look very, very small, they can travel up to 100 kilometers in a night. So, they can ravage your entire farm and the farm surrounding it across cities in just one night. So as of now, we are trying using pheromone traps to lure the fall army worms. I hope you guys know what are pheromone traps. Trapped, everybody trapped except for Nandini. Nandini, very good. Absolutely delightful. Very happy for your preparation. Okay. So, are you guys aware of the the pheromone traps? Everybody knows what they are. I don't need to explain that, right? So, we'll call it a day then. Thank you. I hope to see you guys today at 9:30 p.m. hopefully. I'll be scheduling an academy session at 9:30 p.m. We'll have a 1 hour class beginning today. And from tomorrow onwards, we'll be having 2 classes each of Unacademy. And I hope to see you guys very soon for the next marathon session. Today we did only 32 questions. I am not being keeping in the most pink of my health, but I'm supposing I'll get better and we'll have an elongated session. The next time we'll probably be doing the 100 questions. All right. So everybody on the same page. I should get going then. So have a good day. It's already evening now. So thank you for your time, everyone. Okay, done then.